not you. That's the guy with the camera.
Ah, the guy with the camera. Wait for the warmth.
Alright, so if you want to take that off and put a regular hook on and put a shrimp on with some weight and throw out by the dock, if you'll catch some black drum.
Can we use this little guy?
What's that?
So can we use this little guy?
You can try it. I mean, I don't really know how good it's gonna work. I've never used them before.
They look pretty cool.
You do whatever you want to do.
They
babe.
look pretty cool.
On her, Lester.
Hey, come on. Get your shit out of our way, okay? I can't hold this fish forever.
Why are you holding it? I gotta put it in the...
Saving it for Gus.
Yeah, you catch any ladyfish, save them. There's a shitload of them in here right now.
Yeah.
I'm catching black drum against these docks.
Oh, yeah.
And shrimp.
Black drum, man.
Thank you.
See, we got that hit. So what I did was I stopped reeling and just do nice little pokes. Because what they'll do is when they hit it, if it makes it simulate distress, it'll come back around and try to smash it again. So just because you didn't get it on the first hit, just let it sit for a second, give it a couple little twitches. A lot of times that fish will come right back around and smash it again. Don't get discouraged if you don't get it on the first hit. Oh, there you go, got a jumper. Right at the boat, around the friggin' anchor. Perfect. Beautiful. Open that cooler again. That's two bait. I know you want grouper bad, I know. Since day one, I think it was our second date, I took her out kayak fishing and she hooked onto this redfish, a nice redfish. Starts pulling her around. She had a great time. After that, she just wants big, giant fish all the time. I don't know what to do. It's winter time. We don't catch fish like that. But yeah, hopefully we'll get out and do some grouper fishing. Get Bonnie on a big old Goliath grouper. Try to yank her over the side. Maybe that'll satisfy her. What do you think, babe? Want to get yanked over the side of the boat?
Yanked over the side of the boat?
Yeah. Get drug down under. Bonnie says, I come from London. Yeah. That's the fishing. Hey. I gotta stand up for this one. Hold me all over the place. Got off. That's alright. We didn't want that lady fish anyway. We're gonna try to get out here in the grass where the trout are. That's what we're gonna try to get. Some trout. Damn ladyfish. Okay, done. Nice. See, real men take triple hooks out with no pliers until the real man gets a fucking triple hook in the hand. I don't think we're gonna need the pliers. Alright, so the old man wants to save these. They're gonna cut these up and use them for grouper fishing next week, so we'll go ahead and throw this in the cooler. If we catch anything, at least we'll catch some bait for next week. We're gonna go ahead and pull anchor. We're gonna head a little bit further out front, try to get into the grass, try to get them trout out of there today. And then once the sun burns away some of these clouds, then we're gonna head back into the rivers and the warmer water and try for some snook before we go home. So hopefully we'll have a good day. We always hope for a good day, right, babe?
That's right.
That's right.
Always good day out fishing.
That's right. So trout, man, they're pretty ravenous. They're really fast, and they actually look a lot like your river trout and your lake trout for freshwater. They're pretty ravenous. They got some big teeth on them, and they like to hunt fast. They like to come shooting out of the weeds or out of any kind of cover and just smash it. So they're a lot of fun to catch because when you hit it, your rod goes down, you know you've got it. Certain times of the year, oh, there you go, babe.
Not yet.
Nice trout.
Is it a trout?
Yeah.
Ooh, it is.
Oh, look at that one. Take it right up in the boat. Oh! He lost it. That was a nice trout, man. That was a nice trout. So you learned a very important lesson. Don't leave that pole there.
Yep, sure did.
Learned a very important lesson.
So I was like,
Keep
ah,
everything
shit, I
out
was
of the
trying to
way.
get
When you
over it.
catch a fish, you want to be able to pull it right in the boat. That's alright.
Learn something new every day.
That's alright. That was a good one, though.
It was a good fish.
It happens to the best of us.
Nah.
I mean, shit, last week I lost that big ass snook. That was disappointing. I'm still disappointed about that. That'd have been a great one to be able to pull up on camera because that was a good sized snook. I mean, you can't keep them this time of year because they're out of season. They only have a few weeks here and there throughout the year where you're allowed to keep them. Otherwise, they're pretty much closed. So we wouldn't have been able to keep it, but it'd have been a great trophy to have on camera. So this is a diver. It's got the spoon here on the front. What that spoon does, it catches the water, pulls the fish, brings it back down. It also has a spoon shape to it, so it wobbles. And as it wobbles through that water, you got these rattles right up here behind the eye and right up here on top of that hook. And those, they rattle around and make all sorts of distracting noises. Because why? You want to simulate distress. That's the biggest thing, simulate distress. Got a little one.
A trout?
Oh, you spit it. And they don't seem to like to hold on to these hooks today, I'll tell you. But what we can do, now that we know they're in this area here, what we'll do is once we drift far enough past, we stop getting bites, we'll just motor up, come back through, and then drift out past them again. So once you figure out where they're laying, you can hit them multiple times. This nice calm water on the top, I think it gives them better visualization of what's going on the top. So when it's ripply and stuff and you got a big chop, I don't think that they can see stuff on the top of that water very well. So with it being calmer, I think that might have something to do with it. So if they're hitting top, you switch to a top water and you fish the top water. And you do like we're doing right now, you just kind of troll down through the area and find out where the school of them are hanging out. That's the only thing you can really do this time of year. And we're just drifting through these flats. We're not working the banks. There's a lot of grass in here. It's pretty shallow. It's a real low tide, as you can see off the bank. So we're just going to keep drifting through these channels where it's a little bit deeper, and you know, we got a nice grass bottom, and we'll just keep drifting back and forth until we get our fill of trout, and then we'll head in for some snook and hopefully some redfish in the warmer waters up in the river. I keep trying to get the old man to do an episode with me, just me and him in the boat, but he always finds an excuse not to do it.
Yeah, you can't be soft of feelings.
Yeah, you can't have no feelings. You have any
Yeah,
feelings, you
no,
ain't
don't
gonna
show
make it. Can't have no feelings. No liberals in my boat.
You had a nice trout, Bonnie?
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
But I lost it.
Yeah, you gotta watch them too. Get them with the net as soon as you pause it, because they got
They also call them paper mouths, you know, because they got a real
Oh.
soft mouth. They pull the hook easy. But that was a nice one. He was trashing the place.
Oh, it was about like that.
Yeah, I saw him shaking his hand. That was
Yeah.
a good trout.
We should probably go back in that same spot.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm probably gonna pick up and head back over, motor back over, and drift across again.
We ain't had much of anything here, so the water's probably warmer that way.
Yeah.
Or the right temperature for them.
Yeah, I stopped getting bites a few minutes ago. So
My motor's idling real high.
why?
My motor's idling real high.
Why?
I think something with the cable.
Oh, son of a bitch!
So listen, when you get them close to the boat, get your tip down. Get your tip down. Let them stay in the water. You're trying to pull it up out of there, and you're actually just yanking it right out of their mouths. All right, it's two you lost now, baby. Those
Two
are
I've
two good
lost.
trout.
We're hungry, Bonnie.
So you bent the hook.
You're hungry? And I'm making you starve?
I know she's catching nothing but keepers. She just can't keep them on the hook.
Oh, Lester's got one.
Oh, get her, Lester. Get it. See how Lester keeping his pole down there?
Yeah, but you always yell at me saying, tip up!
Well, that's when you're fighting, and when you get it next to the boat, you want to tip down.
And the band played on. We just hit an iceberg. What time do you want the band to go on?
Well, Lester's quite the fucking catcher. He lands a lot of fish.
Ladyfish?
Shoot Lester out the fish.
Yeah, little ladyfish.
Don't keep any ladies. Don't want to go in the freezer.
Now, the reason why I'm jigging so fast is because I'm casting out in front of where we're going. So it may look like I'm really reeling it in quick, but I'm not. It's actually really not moving too far from where I cast it. So you got to pay attention. You know, if you're trolling forward and you're casting forward, you got to reel faster to keep the good action. Or if I cast behind me and we're rolling forward, I got to slow the action down to keep the proper action going. So you want to pay attention as to what you're doing with the boat and which way everything's going to keep everything looking natural. So I had the old man. I had the trolling motor remote. He didn't know it. And he was standing on the front of the boat. He got no good balance, you know. And he's trying to work the foot control with one foot, and he didn't know that I got the remote in the other. So he's out there looking, and I see him spot a fish. And I crank that trolling motor. As soon as he casts, I gun it the other way. He's up on the front of the boat. Damn, I was trying so hard to get him to fall off the front of that damn boat. At the end of the day, man, he was so tired from fighting on the front of that boat one leg. I threw that trolling motor. I asked him, I said, "Where's that gun at?" He says, "In the boat." I said, "You sure?" He says, "Yeah." I threw the remote up on the dashboard. Oh, he wanted to kill me.
This splash, he was taking a bath.
The man that can't feel his feet is the one that's up on top.
Exactly. The one with no balance can't feel his feet. There he is, standing on top of the pole and flapping.
See the manatee do a high dive?
Ever see a manatee do a high dive?
Oh,
Need to get one in the boat, though.
I do.
That's your next one. I'll be Johnny on the spot with the net. You know to keep your pole down.
I know
Good.
what not to do now.
You're right. So just stop doing what not to do.
And I'm gonna fish in the boat.
That's right. We'll get you a fishing boat. It's all about you today, babe. The Adventures of Bonnie.
Taught by Sea Leg.
Yeah, fish, 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 fish. Oh, fish, 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 fish. Yeah, fish. Yeah.
Hang it.
Yeah, the gar are rolling. Rolling gar.
Finally, I haven't seen any gators.
I am too, actually. I haven't seen any of them the last few times I've been here.
What's happening, fellas? Ladies?
It goes from one thing to another to another. And next thing you know, it's 4 hours of chasing them around constantly. No,
He
no,
took off
no.
the other day running through the house.
Oh.
Nick said I was in the camper. I'm sitting there. I looked out the window. Nick said he was running down the heading
road.
down towards the street, looking like he just broke out or something. Nick said he was running around the house. He jumped sideways right through the screen at the window.
He
The
was
screen
running.
popped
He
out.
was out back. He was out back, right? And he started his zoomies. His ass hit the ground. He come running around, crashed right through the screen, come running into the house, out of control. Didn't even put the brakes on. Jumps at the window, turns sideways, and just right through it. Hit the ground, rolled, and was still off like a shot. What the? And I'm screaming at him, no, what are you doing? No! Ah! Right through the window. He ain't got no
Song,
brakes.
Rob.
There you go. You said our song?
Our song, yes.
Oh,
your
don't be
song,
telling him
right.
that, man.
Your song in
Don't
line.
telling him that. You think something's up with that. They'll never watch this channel again.
Yeah, right? You're ruining my show.
It was one of those off-color fishing channels.
Oh!
Almost took the joint right out of my mouth.
How the fuck did that happen? Work, man.
When they need something done.
So you just want to pop it a little on the water. You want to simulate distress, but you don't want to. What was it? You want to simulate distress, but you don't want sympathy.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to repeat what I just said. I can't remember. Every day we kind of come up with new material, though.
I know, right? Luckily, it's only a once a week show. We don't have to think that hard about it.
Oh, no. No, right. No catfish.
Keep the motor idle or bang.
Give him the hook.
So what'll happen too is when you find these spots, and you start catching them out of the spots. You know, there might only be 5 or 6 hanging out in that spot. So when you catch, 3 or 4 of them, you're pretty much done with that spot. Sometimes you'll hit a spot, man, there'll be 100 of them sitting in there, and you just pull one after another, after another, after another. But you will outfish or overfish a spot. So that's kind of what's happened here. The bite has just totally dropped off. So we're gonna pick up. We're gonna start heading in, and we're gonna change our rigging and our thinking a little bit, and we're gonna go for some snook and some redfish. So stay tuned.
Last time I don't know what I did last time, but I screwed up again.
Now, if you remember, in episode 3, Return of the Ladyfish, I forgot to put the money in the container.
He threw it in the container and kept the envelope and stuff.
He threw it in the
I
container.
don't know what I did, but I jazzed it
Kept
all.
the envelope.
Did it again.
Did it again. Can't take them anyway.
Bang.
Dang. Ooh. Yeah, got 4th of July. I got ain't put it over yet. I gotta pee.
You don't want nobody to see it.
So we're gonna pack up and we're gonna head up the river and cast for some snook on the way back to the ramp. See if we can't catch anything up in there. Finish out our day. We headed up the river looking for a little couple snook spots. All the decent spots, man. I understand everybody's got to have their time on the water, but if you're kayaking, man, and you ain't fishing, get out of the damn fishing holes. So we were kind of skunked by some kayakers. Well, not some. There was at least friggin' 50 of them. So we're heading back to the truck now. We're gonna call it a day. We had a good morning. We caught in some ladyfish, we caught in some trout. Bonnie lost 2 really nice trout. We had some stingrays, we had some catfish. The bite kind of died off towards our end of our fishing trip. So we're heading back and we'll see you all next week for the next episode. Thanks.